It's hard to believe that we've reached the first weekend in August, but yet here we are. Summer's still going strong, and so are the fun activities around town. And here, as always, with ideas on how to spend the next few days is 94.9 MIXfm's Greg Curtis, who was doing a little drum machine. Right.
Well, you opened it up with that. Yeah,
techno action.
Right.
Gets you in the mood.
We're going clubbing at 11 a.m.
No, thank you.
Or noon.
We don't know how that.
If you're watching the replay.
Yeah, exactly. Nice to have you back.
Nice to be back. Thank you very much. We've got some things to do this weekend. You know, this is kind of an odd time in Tucson because you're in between. The kids are going back to school. It's still hot outside. Yeah. Everybody's already spent all their money on summer vacations and back to school supplies and all that stuff. So it's an interesting in-between kind of time, but there's still stuff to do. There's always stuff to do.
Tons of good stuff, including bats, apparently.
Do you like bats?
Flying rodents? I don't think so. Not me personally.
It's not for you.
They're beautiful to watch.
But if you see this, what we're talking about right here, bats in flight, and this is happening right now at this time of year, you should go out to the Rito River Park. We're talking about Campbell, right there, just south of River. That's the bridge that you're seeing right there. There's also another spot, good spot on Broadway and Pantano area, where there's a little river park just like that. And boy, when you see them come out and blast out like that, it's like a cannon went off, and it just keeps going and going and going. It's just hard to believe when you see it firsthand.
How do they plan this? I mean, how do they tell? Do the bats coordinate and say, you know, tomorrow at 6:30 we're going to meet up? They text each other.
Well, they're actually on Twitter now.
Oh, Twitter. Sorry.
So they don't really care about
echolocation Twitter.
No, but it's cool. And this is something you can do with the kids.
Gosh.
They'll be amazed.
Yeah.
They're not going to get you, so you don't have to worry about it, Alex.
Right, right.
But there's no charge or anything. You just show up. Yeah, about 6:30, give you plenty of time to make sure you're there in time.
Well, I mean, we just finished saying that people have spent all their money this summer on different things. No charge.
There you go.
Free is for me, as they say, right?
Thank you very much.
More animals. Summer safari nights.
This is a great time. We've talked about it a couple of times this summer because it is so much fun. And I'd never been out there for summer safari nights at Reed Park Zoo until about a month ago. And the reason I was skeptical was because it's so hot during the day. You're like, the last thing I want to do is go outside at night. But you know what? In the zoo, with all that vegetation and the moisture around, when the sun goes down, it really gets nice.
That's true.
And so summer safari nights are a great time to be there with your family. Plus, the animals come back out. Like during the middle of the day, they're all bed down. You don't ever get to see them. But at night, you're going to see the tiger come out. It's really cool.
Right,
so 6 to 9.
They come out when it's cooler too, and obviously, you know, you'll be paying for that experience. But we know it's going to a great cause because it's the Reed Park Zoo.
Well, it's always good.
Just helping the animals.
Absolutely.
More free stuff. Free music is in the title.
We've got lots of shows going this weekend, and yeah, free music in Marana is something that the town of Marana puts on. Some nights they do movies, some nights they do music. This happens to be a music weekend at Crossroads at Silver Bell Park. That's right near Cortero off of Silver Bell. That gentleman right there, Caden Brewer, will be performing some country music. So if you like, say, Eric Church or Blake Shelton or Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, you're going to like Caden Brewer, Tucson guy who sings and plays and has a good time. And that is a free event. So bring a blanket, bring a lawn chair, and hang out.
Talented, and really that's the start of our music weekend. We're going to be really talking about music the rest of the time here because there's so much going on. What's next? Air Supply.
You're All Out of Love.
Oh, God. What are some other songs? I was trying to think of some songs.
You're So Lost Without Me.
Oh. Yes. How many times have you spun those tunes?
Are you feeling it? Well, we used to play them quite a bit on 94.9 MIXfm. These days, they're doing the circuit. They're back around playing Desert Diamond Casino at I-19 Pima Mine Road tonight.
Yes.
8 o'clock. Tickets are pretty reasonable too, by the way. $25 is where they start. So.
And typically, I'm impressed with these guys that you know, back in the '80s, well, even back to the '70s, Air Supply, right? I mean, they had such high falsetto voices. Like Christopher Cross a couple weekends ago, I watched him. I was there, and his voice still holds up. He can still hit those high notes. So I'm wondering, you know, can these gentlemen?
You might have to make it out there tonight to Desert Diamond Casino.
Good venue there.
Here's another show coming up that you should check out. This one will be Sunday night and at Ava. So an outdoor show, but it's Keith Sweat and En Vogue.
I've never listened to their music.
Oh my gosh.
Give me a
you went to Christopher Cross.
I did. Sing me one of their songs.
But you don't need, well, see, I'm bad with the Keith Sweat songs. But En Vogue is going to put on a great show. Ooh, ooh, no, you're never going to get it. Not this time. Never, ever going to get it.
Okay, I recognize
You know that song.
I do,
Come on, man.
Some middle school dance back in the day. I was grooving to that.
Middle school dance. Were you listening to Christopher Cross and not En Vogue in middle school?
I think I was that kid.
What kind of 7th grader were you?
My parents introduced me to all sorts of music, and that's just what I was playing on my Walkman CD player. That's just what was on there at the time. I enjoyed it. Phil Collins, the whole nine.
Well, if you liked older music, then you might also enjoy the tribute takeover that's going on at the Rialto tonight. Because, especially if you like rock, these guys are pretty cool. The Jack, they do AC/DC.
They sound good.
And they sound pretty good.
Watching this video.
Priest Unleashed is a Judas Priest tribute band. You got Mr. Skynyrd, who is awesome. We've seen those guys several times in town. They do a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute, obviously. And then a lesser-known band, but still pretty popular with the rock crowd, is Buckethead. And there's a tribute band for those guys, too. So they're all performing tonight at the Rialto, and tickets are just $8.
$8, that's, if you count, that's $2 per band. So what a deal is that? I can do math, everyone. That's
You're right.
Yeah. Did you do that? Did you use
so
your abacus?
You got all the way through.
You were doing the abacus.
That's gone 2, 4, 6. You got through middle school.
Happy Friday.
And now you're going to get through the weekend.
Through middle school with Air Supply, I guess. Be sure to listen to 94.9 MIXfm every weekday morning to catch Greg and Mrs. Grant on the Morning Mix. They have an incredible show. Stream it anytime at MIXfm.com. And as always, we'd be glad to mention your event next Friday. Send a message to our Facebook page with all of the details.